past the garage, or at least closer to, in towards garage. And there we go, Loira, they're in sight. They've just walked in. There's no traps, there's nothing there. They've cleared all out.
Okay, too much hands off. Yeah, fine, the bulletproof can see you, but it can also just see a post plant. But he's able to slip his way past the first and right into the bullets of Doki. In the meantime, Kino does find Loira, but a post plant with a little bit of pressure that needs to put laterally across. There's no verticality for this. You just have to force these long watches out here, and as they're just pinging in Bs, they get all the awareness of Hotten's position. They know as soon as he goes for it, they're hoping they can keep the narrow line, but look, just drifts around the back and picks up the first on a freebie. They're pinching either side, and there's just a man above. Gunner lost. Looking down as his teammates fall apart. Can't even get to the kit in time, and G2 open up with what felt really easy.
Yeah, big gap.
Loira is the only one left on the far side of the site, and they're just going to try and swing in for the pressure. Defuser gets Loira. Now it's a very direct take. The Monty can't really do much about the man behind the desk, but the C4 can't do much about him apart from go for the shake and bait. Gunner gets one, Stompin gets the swing round, but gets down in the meantime and finished off with the secondary. A 2 versus 3. The body balance has swinged its way back round. The Monty is ready to try and find a fight, but they're not taking the bait. Instead, he's going to have to try and drive and make his own fate, but it's a triple kill for Gunner. He's checked in behind the desk, and the only one left to check out here is Blaz. The shield will make things pretty much impossible. They're going to play themselves a little bit arms off. No, maybe not. 9 seconds. Hunt's the last man, swinging close. He's left or right, and he can't quite get it right. The essence.
That main breach is not open because I'm pretty sure there's still a mute jammer on it, so for kind of moving around the site, it's very easy here for Gunner.
Oh, he's hitting all the shield. They've used the smoke as the cover. There's just a little bit too many people inside the area for fighting, and unfortunately the fight's cancelled, called off, and sent packing. G2, as he said, well, he's ready to go for it. They've gone with the breach that they can get because of the laser gate. They can't quite get the tucked in, so they're going to have to swing around into an open firefight, but hey, they're winning out too, so why not see if you can go for gold here? Doki takes a bit of damage, but he's able to get Gunner. That is the player underneath. That is the player inside the site, and this is probably going to be a G2 3-2. There is at least one that comes against them, but Stompin is the punctuation and a pretty...
Oh, good info though. The Chichanka
just going for it. No, the fire will at least stop them, as well as Stompin getting the first and Loira getting the second. They sort of went off to the races, but our race has been cancelled. Ground isn't quite passable. We're going to have to call the whole thing off. This approach, oh, it's even worse. Now it's another body hits the floor, and a 5 versus 1. Good idea, but unfortunately, G2 had better reactivity. They've all sent themselves down the corridor. There's one. We're sort of ringing out them that you talked about before, and Kino's just going to keep the pressure going. He's able to drop, but Doki keeps things balanced, and now it's unfortunately not. Loira swings around the back, gets himself a double. The activation phrase was said. It was help, help, help there in the site, and now Loira pops up, puts them down. He doesn't really care.
Whoa!
Oh, Gaveni hops through the door over Blaz, gets the hurdle, and then kills the hurdle. Now Loira, though, finds Gunner. 3 versus 4, 20 seconds, and nothing to disguise the plant or any cover inside itself. They're going to see if they can just make it happen, but he can't even get back in and out because they've locked it in from above. Demo Stompin said, I'm going on this rotate, and I'm going to get 2, and maybe try and find 2 more. 7 seconds. It's going to turn into a 1 versus 1. They got to plant, they got to find the right angle, and you know, he's hunting, he's sort of circling the problem, but a post plant. And at this point, they can just peel themselves away. Defuser!
Cheeky pick there from Defuser. Again, still all quiet for M80. This is where they're getting ready for that second take to clear out these players in towards bathroom and in towards Mez.
It's the run-up. The main stairs hit by the smokes. They can slow it down. In the meantime, Malamal's able to take the head off of Gaveni. Double. Can't get 3, though, because suddenly there's Kino swinging around the side, but he's got a second to reload. Hotten's only watching from the art window from long, and Gunner's trying to cut his way across Mez behind him. So, hey, he'll take the work into his own hands. Why not get 4? No. Stompin has the cover, but there's another for his trouble, and that just leaves Hotten watching the windows, looking at the art, but the picture currently painted is G2 in a 2 versus 1 situation. Might be able to get lucky here. He's got them angled both towards the same side, but the reason they're there is because that kit is sitting pretty dangerously right in the open of a very long corridor and a very bit of tricky terrain. 20 seconds. And he doesn't even know where to start looking, but he's got to clear every angle so he doesn't get swung on from the back. Okay, well, there's Shanka that sort of makes the rude hello that he can. Danger. That limits the space that they can sort of move in, but they only need a second to plant Loira. Oh, he pulls it off! 2 versus 2, 40 seconds now, and it's all down to Gunnar and Gaveni, a dream team duo, but against the shield, and with a big rotate still happening, you can see that, well, they're just burning out time. One more smoke canister demo, one more C4. They could play the rest of this from a bit of long arm, so those 4 flashes are going to have to be part of a bit of a flashy drive in. They've obviously got some awareness. They're just going to try and move on the back of it, and they're able to catch first by finding a pocket of space. The second, they line up, and can't quite get the connection either side of 1 versus 1. And Doki might have been the first removed in the previous round, but here, pulls back, Gunnar. He's going deep. He doesn't have a kit. He doesn't have an idea, and he's hoping that he can find a single place. He's only just realized he didn't know. And a Shakespearean tragedy leads to an EML victory on the first map.
They're switching things up, hoping that with that kill, maybe G2 would kind of drop off, fall back into the bomb site. That is Siege timing. Oh, no, Stompin', no!
Oh, no! Disaster has struck Stompin', and, well, Hotton survives. The man with the breaches and the kit is gonna live, but only with a sliver of health as they get the breach open, ready to try and get another pick. He said aggressive, and here's them trying to just put the pressure back onto this situation. There's still a big divide to cross there. Crossfire from Blaz from Horse will actually get the drop down on towards 1. They still have a bit of a control. The C4 kind of only caught air, and Doki catches Gaveni, though. Now a 3 versus 3 with Hotton on the other side by himself, trying to put some pinch pressure in towards Defuser, who just drives across Horse, gets the double down, but it's again these consistent engagements back and forth. The anvil rocked on the other side, so now we're just left with a bag of hammers, and we'll see if we can slap them against each other and see which ones can survive the drive-through. Defuser cuts his way across, his gun is able to get the pinch on the other, and M80 build a better structure towards Horse. They pick up the approach, bring it to the other side, get themselves in close and make it a bit of a swing fight, but the C4 ripped and ready to go. It's Gunnar! Actually gets the all-go from the other side, but Stompin' hits Defuser right back. The Bees are going to an already dead player, hoping that there might be a bit of a loose catch instead, but in the meantime, they're up against the clash that's already pre-popping, and Hot and Cold, who just wants to drive his way through, but the Keepers keep pulling against the perfect utility game here, just keep them battering and battening against the doors themselves, trying to get on towards the strategy table, but the only strategy they can see is safety and back out and back round and just looking for a singular route in towards a singular purpose. But Doki has a purpose, and that is to appear from behind and get a couple of kills, but Stompin' says, I'm too busy, mate, doing your job for you. The last little pop is a Stompin', and G2 level things up. Just having to sprint their way past, hoping they can find the cover. Oh, they can't quite get the thread of the needle. Instead, Blaz, with that big LMG, can just hold that angle, hold left click, and hold every single M80 approach at bay alongside the clash. And what do? Stuck here. Here's that wall I talked about before that becomes a bit of a danger aspect. Maybe pull them away, but for all that she's doing, she's luring them in towards a fight. Someone help her. No! She's done, but she's taken a lot out of them. There's a bit more out of Hot and Cold. But with a minute, they've finally been able to get themselves tangentially close towards the site. But as things are still a bit hypothetical, back towards the drawing board and seeing if they can get a landing.
Look at the position that Hot and Cold's been able to go in towards. That is a blind spot position. Nobody can touch him whenever he's planting there. And yeah, this is all G2 can do. Try and run and stop it, but no. Look at the coverage. The exterior wall being opened up.
To force some motion and some flashes, it's a very aggressive lean in here, and 1C4 could be the one already ripped and ready to go from the side of Stompin', but instead it's the pinch. He's got himself tucked in. There's the fire, will force him to not quite go anywhere, but with a shotgun ready to lock and load. It's a crossfire and a firefight of accidental play in towards the kitchen, but Gaveni and Gunnar get one apiece between them, and with Alamau leveling things up, well, Defuser, not all that's left.
A misfire. They're making moves happen now. They're using that util. No clash to go up against. Using the Grim. Horse is gone. You have that shield. Kino can now start looking at these different engagements. Spot out for his team. M80 in great shape in 40 seconds to make this a success.
Well, will he drive himself in towards the bathroom here? You can see that Loira is more than happy to go for the swing itself, but he's being tracked. But to be fair, he's holding a shotgun angle, and he's got a shotgun to make it work. Gets one! Can't get his way out the building with the grenade, but in the meantime, Doki's able to find one on the cover. So once again, we find ourselves in this sort of flat-fronted 2 versus 2. Drive right into the site, but Defuser! His cape took most of the damage, and the mask took the rest, but he's still standing, and instead, 13 seconds. Force Alamau out, they know where he is. That doesn't mean they can do a damn thing about it. The 2 versus 1, Kino, he should be swept up here as soon as they go for the close, and there it is. I said it was shotguns at dawn. Apparently they're just as good, if not better, at dusk. Even deeper. As for the players itself, Loira, he's able to take care of one, and Kino
No kit.
gets the drop on towards. There's Defuser with one more. Leaves just Blaz outside of a window, and does get one more for the hop. Bit of a bold approach. Then the 1 versus 3 no kit, as you pointed out, right buried in the middle of games, but I think the only game he's playing is being toyed with right now. They've got themselves a very good cross peek. They've gone wide. They know it's right in the sort of pinch of it. He's got to drive himself through. In fact, it's not even in games. It's down the stairs on the other side of it, even further away, Demo.
Should just be a matter of time for M80 pick up this round, and well, maybe a 1v2 now. I mean, surely not. Surely not. No! No! You can't do that! You're not allowed to do that!
He's found an angle of space, but he has to operate at the right time. At the same time, G2, they're keeping themselves on Loira time until the watch gets cancelled and called off, and Defuser slows things down. Deeper watch. Inside games, on towards the cross with a bit of support from Gunnar now on the bathroom. He's just got to find an angle, and he gets stomping. Levels things up and causes a ruckus, but Alamau has a quick counter and levels things back in. But Kino, it's back and forth as it needs to be. Fabian said you need to work out how to do it in the lobby, and now Kino and Defuser have to work out how to keep the dream alive. A dash across. Alamau's in, but he's not the man with the kit. Instead, he's the cover in the 2 versus 1. 15 seconds. Doubling down, there's one! Can't get the second, and there's the spray. Kino keeps them dreaming. Propped up on the side as soon as they go for any of this ground. Well, Astolis turns her back at the worst possible time. Gets themselves in, 10 seconds left. And almost 2 1 versus 1s on the narrowest of angle. He's down, you're up, you're knocked out, somehow wins it, and now the final swing round the kit with pistol out, stumping the man who's done so much. Can he do just this last bit? Gaveni rotates round the back, can't quite get the fight itself. A 2 versus 1. Had enough, think Gaveni, with not much more health than there are players still in the lobby, has swapped positions, and that puts all of the pressure on these openings back onto him to retake. Stuck in the middle, can't quite get the angle. Loira does! You've said it, and it's time for Loira, but it's time for G2 to keep fighting. And in the meanwhile, those reigning major champions who kept their head above water in